come across a 1971 Dodge Demon 340, well, that's a good thing. To come across a 1971 Dodge Demon 340 with a six-pack built by and sold by Mr. Norms, that's a great thing. You add in the fact that this car is not only all that, but it is loaded with documentation, and you name it on the documentation. One of the most documented cars we've ever done. We have the original Monroney window sticker for it. We have the point of sale from Grant Spalding Dodge showing how much money they paid for it, how much money was put down. The entire deal is right there. We have the original key tag, the original keys, the code on it, the envelope that those keys came in. Literally, we have every single piece of literature and documentation that a person would have got when they went in and bought that car brand new. Somebody somewhere had the forethought to save all of that documentation and keep it preserved and in good shape so that one day it could go with the car. Well, here we are. It's one day. And that car, very likely, because of all this documentation and being a Mr. Norm's car, is a one of one ever made. Now, when we got the car, it was partially disassembled. I knew it had some rust. The rust was what I would refer to as middle of the road rust, okay? Meaning there was a lot of things like the main floor, the trunk floor extensions, they had to be replaced. But other areas such as the rockers or the side of the firewall or cowl side panels, these needed small patches in them. So we were able to do that, and it didn't take a whole lot of time. Once it got through the metal shop, we kicked it to Mud. Mud had it for very little time because it's a pretty small car. And then they kicked it over to Will, who did a beautiful job of painting it. So the drivetrain Doug and I did collectively. Once it was put together in detail, we put it on the engine run stand, ran it for a while, found a little oil leak that wasn't really a problem other than Dougie kind of sort of forgot to tighten down the adapter for the oil filter. But with that done, we were able to put it on the K-member, all restored. Last time you guys saw the car, we had installed it in the car and were able to let the car down on the ground and have it as a complete roller. So one of the things that I told Justin a while back that I wanted to be involved with was the installing of the hood scoops and some of the front end ornamentation on it. Now, we should have had that done a long time ago, but Will is just now getting to the blackout on it.
So when it comes to using our hot rod black paint that we use to duplicate the stripes, it's a real finicky product. And what I'm saying is, for the best results for this, it needs to be below 70 degrees and dry naturally. If you bake it or if it gets too hot, it dries uneven. In the great state of Oregon here, it's 90 degrees. And we're in this dilemma of we need to get this car done so I can get it back over to assembly and get the car out of here. When you get with these temperatures in this product, what could happen is some spots will dry faster, some will dry slower, and it won't all dry evenly. So if I shoot it like 60 degrees, let it breathe, take its time, it all flows out perfect. Despite all of Mark's foolishness, the blackout came out great, and I can kick it over to assembly.
Will finally got the Demon hood done so we could get it all put together. I knew Mark was excited to get some of the stuff on the car, so I grabbed him and had him give me a hand. I'm actually really excited to see this car done myself.
All right, so this one's gotta go here, right?
Yep.
And then this one goes into that.
Bottom.
And then
one down here.
These two here, okay.
Yep, and then two up on the side that go to the fender.
Great, okay. So I'll just make sure. You want me to just put the end one in first, probably? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the easiest.
Makes the most sense. Well, it's nice when they go together like that. Beautiful. Bottom one started. Okay, all started.
There we go.
Good. So look at how nice that just begins to finish off the front end of that car. It's amazing how beautiful everything is when it's new and fresh and restored the way it's supposed to be. Absolutely gorgeous. I love that.
This was such a straight car when it first came in, wasn't it?
It was a real straight non-wreck car.
Okay.
But it was pretty rusty. We did a lot of panels on it.
Really? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had forgot how many panels. I was looking back through pictures recently and I realized how many there were. So just real quick, I'll explain what I meant by a lot of rust. As I had mentioned earlier, it did have some rust issues. I don't want to give people the impression it was a rust bucket. It was not. It was a good, complete car, although it was partially disassembled and wearing its original paint when it came to me. But after we got it back from dipping, that's when, of course, you find out all your sins. As I mentioned, we ended up doing the trunk floor and the trunk floor extensions. Really, the quarter panels, the front and behind wheel opening areas needed to be replaced down low, but the rest of the quarters are completely original. So in the world of replacing parts, that's not terrible. We had a lot of little patches to do, like in the frame rail we had a patch, in the cowl side panels we had a patch, we had some little ones in the front of the rocker that we had to address. You know, a lot of little things like that that don't really compromise how much metal is original on a car. To me, the biggest thing was that his hood was ironically just rotten. So rotten that we ended up getting another hood and making it into a true 1971 Dodge Demon hood. But we had his original one and we never dipped it. It was quite a bit.
This side, it's
You
not
got it?
fitting the same way it did the other day.
Which is good or bad?
What bad?
Gotcha.
Okay, this thing was nice and sucked in when I first did this. That's nice. That's better. One thing I really like about having Mark around when it comes to, you know, doing some of the assembly on some of these things is if you have to hit something, it's his shop. He can hit it. He owns this place. And it's out of my hands if something happens. Because if I hit it, breaks or cracks, that's on me. I know it sounds funny, but it's true.
Okay, so he's going to finish tightening down the last two bolts on the valance. The next things we're going to put in are the front side markers. Notice this is chrome. That's because it's a Dodge. Dodge chromed their bezels on a lot of their cars. Not all of them, because Tony gets mad when I say all of them. He'll tell me some car that they didn't. But on this car, the front end is a Dodge Dart, the back end is a Plymouth Duster. So on the Dodge Dart fenders, you got a chrome bezel. Isn't that pretty? But what Mopar didn't want, Dodge didn't want, was to mix that with a Duster, which is what the back end of the car is, painted bezel. So they actually chromed the bezel from the factory so that it would match the front. It's a really neat thing to see. So they would have had to make this part in chrome.
Yeah.
This would have had to have a different part number on it. We have to
Oh, a
ask Tony.
full-on different part number?
It would have to be, right? 'Cause
Okay.
They had painted ones. Most of them were painted. Some of them were chrome. This would have
Right.
had to have a chrome part
Wow.
number on it. So we sent them out and had them re-chromed. Beautiful little piece right there.
Yeah, they turned out really
And
nice.
the only other thing to show you on this is the retainer that's going to hold these in the front. See these little cutters right here? These are designed to cut into the paint because this is going to count on this unit grounding it. There is no individual ground for it. It counts on this grounding to the fender, grounding to the light. So you want to put the side marker in?
Let's do it.
I'm going to have to ask Tony whether or not these are the same as a Challenger or a Charger. I bet it could be.
No, these would swoop up to like a point.
On a Challenger they
Yeah.
would, so maybe a Charger? A Charger doesn't swoop up.
Yeah, maybe it's like
A 70 Charger,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so he's gonna put the retainer on. Look how nice that looks. You got that, camera boy? Isn't that beautiful? Love that new stuff. So I know the guy's anxious to get it back. We've had it for quite a while. But I'm gonna kind of be sad to see it go in as much as it's the only Mr. Norm's car we've ever had a chance to work on. Got it?
Yep.
Great. Okay, let's go put the other side on. You ready? All right. I'm liking that. Centered in the opening, ready when you are. Go back just a hair. Yeah, you have to set these just right in there because there's a little movement. So if it's not squared right in the opening of the side marker, it's not gonna look right. So go forward, backwards, up, down, whatever you have to do to get it. But that's it right there. So I think the best part's coming up. Hood scoops and hood pins.
Oh yeah.
Is that what we got left? And rear side markers. Nice. Okay, that looks great. right there. Got it. Beautiful. Now the fun part. We're going to put on the hood scoops and hood pins next, and rear side markers if we have time. Not everybody gets to see every episode of Graveyard Carz, but something interesting if you look while we're working on the hood. You see the holes in the hood. Tony D'Agostino was out, the sandwich man, and we went over a 71 Demon that's very similar to this and had an opportunity to talk about our hypothesis on what these holes were.
The thing that's real interesting is it's not on the car, but you probably have one around here because it's the same air cleaner used on an e-body. The 70 and 71 340 air cleaner is a very unique air cleaner.
With the oval opening?
Right, has 2 oval openings. It's weird, it's like they left the snorkels off, why not?
Right.
And my theory is that on the A-bodies, well, 70 Dart specifically started, it's essentially same hood, because I believe that they were meant to have ducts that connect to the hood opening.
Because they're not functional, but they're cut out.
Right.
They're
right.
wide open, and they had, I don't know where his are
They
at.
call it diffusers. They were these rubber gaskets that went around.
It's a grommet opening, right?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly, yeah.
So there were other muscle cars in that area that used almost
442s.
right. I was going to say
442s did.
Exactly what I was
Because they
gonna
had the
say.
stuff from underneath the bumper that
It was
came
coming in off the beak. Yeah. They built these in Hamtramck. So yeah, anybody that worked at Hamtramck in 1970 and 71 that was involved with these, tell us why it's all set up for cold air induction. Lined up.
Yep.
Lined up. Lined up. Lined up. Lined up. Perfect. Okay, I'll go ahead and raise it up. You're going to have to hold the scoop in place. That's how I sound in the mornings, by the way.
Is that?
Yeah.
That's how my wrists sound.
Go ahead and hold on to this so it can't
My
go
knees, my wrists,
anywhere. Oh yeah.
my back.
Sucks getting old. Wait till you get older. I'm in my 40s now, so.
I said this before, it's really nice to work with guys like Mark and Tony because they really know their stuff. I never paid much attention to the holes in the hood until Mark told me about them and how it looks like they were supposed to be a cold air induction hood. That's a pretty cool fact. You wish, right?
I do. I don't know what happened to the 40s. I don't know what happened to the 50s. I remember the 30s pretty good. But it's so weird that you just, I don't know why. Maybe nothing significant happened in those. I don't know.
Too much drugs?
Well, it was 30.
Drinking?
I think, oh, well, that was way earlier. I don't remember my 20s, you notice I didn't say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything starts to turn into a blur after a certain time. All the years just blend together.
And it goes faster
Yeah.
and faster and faster and faster.
I felt like my son was just born, now he's already 3.
Yep. And it'll go faster. Older you get, they keep saying that, but it is true. Now, if you want to talk about time flying, the best example of it for our Graveyard Carz fans that have been tuned in for a long time is take a look at the pictures in Emma in season 1, episode 1 called Emma's Car. She's brand new. She's like a few days old. And look at her now. She's not real friendly with the pictures right now. She's not stage where they're not huge fans of it. But I did manage to snap a picture. You will not recognize her. She's a beautiful lady, but she ain't that little baby anymore. And that's just 10 years going by. Maybe 11 or 12, it doesn't matter, okay? I'm still in my late 40s.
These are exact replicas of those.
These are
Fasteners.
originals. I think these are original, or are these the new ones from plastic that we got?
No,
These are
the
his
scoops
originals.
are original, but the fasteners, they're a reproduction.
The fasteners are
They're identical, yeah, they look good.
So these were his original scoops. I don't know if you can see all this, but there's the Chrysler Pentastar and the original part number. And the reason it's a 29 part number is this is the same scoop if you had like a 69 Dodge Coronet with a Ramcharger hood. This would be the scoop you would get on that. Or a 70 with a Ramcharger hood. But it's got the part number, it's got the Pentastar, and you can also tell, see that little shoulder on there? That keeps this thing from screwing in too far. And then these are the originals that we had re-chromed. So they came out really nice. They get a silver highlight here and they get the chrome there. So they're really nice part. I'll just put my hand in there as a sacrifice if we need it.
I'm lined up.
Beautiful.
Good? Perfect.
Overall, it's really coming out nice.
Very
It'd be a nice, clean little car.
Very clean. And it's just gone together so nicely.
Yeah.
I love that. Past few cars have gone together super nice.
Yeah, well, Ledford was so Such a nice car when it showed up. It was just a dream. Gay was too.
Yep.
His 71 Runner. It was a really, just a sweet car.
Probably my two favorite ones.
I agree completely with Mark on this. When I put a drivetrain together on a car like Mr. Gay's 71 Roadrunner or the blue Super B 446 pack, I can tell without seeing the car how nice it was to begin with. I know this car was a nice complete car too. But because it was from the Midwest, all the suspension parts were completely rusted and pitted. We had to use donor parts on the hard parts that don't get replaced. I know we had to find a date-coated 8 3/4 rear end housing because of the pitting that his had. All of the front suspension was just rotted and pitted, like the upper and lower control arms, tie rod sleeves, drag link. Even the K-member had hours of body work before it could get painted. But I was fortunate because we had the parts to use.
Okay, while he's bolting that down, I will show you this. So these are the hood pin bezels. Now, I just want to show these because we've actually never talked about this before. These are a cup shape. So when these go down and into place, they set up against this gasket like that, and they actually pinch that gasket in there. So this is just a really solid quality piece right here. You finish it off with a nice, beautiful new screw like that, and you've got the right look. Set that down on there for you. Okay, knock yourself out. Okay, there you go. Wow, I love that chrome. Absolutely stunning.
Oh yeah. Just finishes off the hood so nicely. I think the blackout on the hood really helps it out a lot too.
Just imagine walking into a dealership and seeing that. Once we finished working on the car, my little contribution to it, I think he actually put the side markers in after I was finished. We let it down and rolled it out in the middle of the shop. I really wanted to get a look at that thing with the trim and the ornamentation, at least most of it on there. And when you stand back and look at that front end, it is clean, it's sleek, but boy, is it muscly. When you look at those scoops on there with the blackout, it's not just clean and sleek, it's muscle. You look down the side of the car, very, very clean. Now, we still have graphics to do. We have a side stripe and a back end stripe to do. But even just sitting there with the wheel opening moldings on it, the mirror, the outside handle, the chrome, the trim, it's beautiful. It's really verging on a bit of a rich look. Get around to the back end and those Demon taillights, very unique in the Demon, that is total class. That takes it from classy at the back end, muscly at the front end, and just rich as hell down the side. That's a really beautiful car, and I can't wait to see it done.
Hi, I'm Cousin Dougie. I'm here to tell you to like and leave a comment. Like and leave a comment. Also subscribe. And subscribe to our channel for more videos and full episodes of Graveyard Cars. Did I do it? Oh God.